I never imagined life collapsing not from one monumental event, but from a chain of tiny, almost invisible we'll deal with it later moments. Dominoes stacked quietly, patiently, until one morning you wake up and realize the entire world has already fallen. Started not with a thunderclap, but with a phone notification. Your minimum payment has increased. At first, I brushed it off as a minor inconvenience. Not a catastrophe, but that was the first domino. I stood in the kitchen, leaning against the cold, chipped sink, phone vibrating again. Electric bill overdue. I silenced it and glanced at my husband. He sat at the table, shoulders slumped, the kind of posture that suggested the weight of unspoken frustrations pressing down on him. His face seemed calm, but I could feel the storm brewing behind it. "Another bill?" he asked without looking up. "Yeah, and it seems the bank raised the interest again," I replied. He only nodded, quietly, as he always did, as if a simple nod could contain all of our problems. "We'll deal with it," he muttered. "We'll deal with it." That phrase had defined our marriage for the past 2 years. The longer he said it, the less likely it was that anything would actually get fixed. I moved to the living room. The floorboards creaked under my feet. The lamp above flickered. The house, once welcoming, now felt like a fragile vessel barely holding together, mirroring our life perfectly. I opened the mailbox. 3 letters fell out, 2 from the bank, 1 from a debt collection agency. Perfect. The avalanche had begun. I had known we were sliding. I saw it in his habits. Staying late at work, coming home smelling of cheap coffee and something else I couldn't name, a mixture of desperation and exhaustion. At first, I blamed stress. Later, I realized it was fear, deep, gnawing fear. Fear of bank officers smiling politely while calculating exactly how much of us they could take. That evening, he came into the kitchen while I was staring at the letters like evidence from a crime scene. "You went to the bank?" he asked, his voice tight. "Yes, we need to make a large payment," I said. He rubbed his forehead. "Where am I supposed to get that kind of money?" I stayed silent. "Do you really think I've been doing nothing?" he exploded, pacing. "I've been trying to keep us afloat, and now you want me to fix everything at once?" I felt the tension in the room wrap around me like a vice. "I just want the truth," I whispered. His expression hardened. "Truth? Fine. Here it is. I've been taking loans to pay off other loans. I've been lying, hiding numbers, because I knew if I told you, you'd leave." The words hit harder than any bill, any bank letter, any overdue payment. "I wasn't going to leave," I said softly. "I wanted you to come to me honestly." He turned away. "Well, congratulations. You got it. And now it's too late." He didn't come home that night. I called, texted. He didn't respond. The next morning, I called his workplace. "He quit 2 months ago," they said. 2 months. 2 months he had pretended to go to work while building a house of lies. I sank onto the couch, unable to feel my legs. Calls from the bank and collection agencies went ignored. Over the next few days, the apartment felt smaller. Even the walls seemed to lean in, suffocating me. I started noticing small things. The way the fridge hummed too loudly, the way the faucet dripped at night, how the mail slot rattled like a warning. Neighbors peeked occasionally. Sergey, tall and always in a hurry, asked once, "Everything okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, fine." But he saw the fear behind my eyes. He knew. One morning, he whispered, "They're coming if I don't pay by Friday." Ice ran through my veins. "Who's coming?" I asked. No answer. "I can't do it anymore," he said. The nights were long. He wandered the apartment like a ghost, mumbling to himself. Sometimes I would wake to find him standing in the dark, staring at walls, as if expecting them to offer a solution. At some point, I wanted to leave, to run far away from the tension and the debt and the man I thought I knew. But I stayed. I still believed I could save him. Then came the morning I woke to smoke. I ran to the kitchen. Paper was burning. Bills, contracts, letters, flames devouring them. He stood beside the stove, calm. "It's easier this way," he said. "No debt, no threats, No calls. You've gone insane, I screamed, smothering the fire. He looked at me with a gaze that said everything had already been lost. A knock on the door. Sergey again. Are you okay? I saw smoke, heard shouting. I tried to assure him, but he lowered his voice. I saw him at the ATM today. He looked broken. Be careful with him. I clenched my fists. What do you mean? Just be careful. That night, I lay awake, listening to him pacing. The apartment seemed to shrink, walls breathing in sync with my panic. I kept hearing the phone ring, imagined threats at the door, footsteps in the hall. By 2 a.m., he was sitting silently by the bed, watching me. I know what to do, he said. Tom, I started, but he didn't listen. If I'm gone, the debts will be gone. You'll get to start over. You won't have to pay for my mistakes. I jumped up. No, Tom, don't. He stood, walked to the drawer, pulled out a kitchen knife sharp, glinting. I don't want you to suffer. I grabbed his hand. He pushed me away. I fell, hitting my head on the table edge. Everything went white for a second. When I opened my eyes, he was on the floor. Blood, light, silence. The avalanche had finally hit. The last domino had fallen. Later, the police said, he was in severe psychological distress. Even if you knew, there was nothing you could do. I knew the truth. I had seen it, felt it. I just wanted to believe it would somehow fix itself. Didn't. Now there are no debts, no threats, no pressure. But he is gone. Every time a letter arrives, it's just my name. And I think about the price he paid for our mistakes. No one should pay like that. But avalanches spare no one. And honestly, a part of me died that night too. I walk, I breathe, I function. But the real me lies there, next to him in that same silence, forever.